Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've just left my house and it's 8:34. I didn't wake up till 8:29. I'm late and tired, but I did sleep all right. So yesterday guys, I was reading through some of the comments from my last video, asking for a little bit of advice really on the Golf GTI. I'd said to you that we had low oil pressure, or the low oil pressure light came on idle, but not all the time. A bit strange really. So the thing idles at 750, which apparently according to auto data it should be sort of 725 plus or minus 75 revs. So it's 750, which is about normal. Yeah, every now and again the oil pressure light comes on. We plugged it into a manual gauge and it all comes up, the pressure is as it should be. A few of you guys did comment, give me suggestions. One chap emailed me saying that he had it in a 1.2 TFSI Volkswagen once, where it took them ages to find that exact problem, and what it was, they listed two different oil filters for the same engine, and he changed the oil filter and it was fine. So that was the first thing we checked yesterday. We actually got another oil filter from Volkswagen, put that on, and no different. So the only thing we could think was the car did have a Revo 3-stage map box on it. It has got like a standard map setting on it, but what we thought we would do is give our lads at RCS Tuning in Barnstable, Top Boys, we give them a shout. They came out to our work yesterday, they put a standard map back onto the car, and so far so good. The oil pressure light hasn't come on yet, so whether it was something to do with the software or it's just a coincidence, I don't know. But what I'm going to do is we're going to take the car for a little drive today, put a couple of miles on it, and then see how it goes. With the standard map, it does actually seem like it idles a bit better. Idles a little bit smoother, seems a little bit smoother down the bottom. So yeah, we'll get in there and see what it does today. But apart from that, the car runs absolutely sweet as a nut, and apart from the bill, the customer should be really happy with it. Right, although I got in late this morning, as I pulled up, there was someone camping on my doorstep with this M3 block. Now I did speak to him on the phone and said he was coming up from Minehead, or down from Minehead, and I said, if you leave it with me, I'll get it done within the day. When he turns up, he said that he's going at about 1, so can you get it done in the morning? I said, yeah, that's fine. Oh, and while you're at it, there's a broken stud down there which looks like it's been heated up. Can you get that out? Oh, can you run a tap down the head bolt threads? Oh, bloody hell. I said, yeah, all right, leave it with me. But I don't know whether they seem to think that I'm standing there twiddling my thumbs all day. But anyway, I've done it. We're just giving this a face. This is an M3 block. I'm not sure whether this is the 3.2 or I don't know really, but it's the E36 block. But yeah, just giving it a face. This is a second cut. So I've took nearly about 1/8 thou off this block now, so I'll have to tell him, make sure he gets his pistonites right. But yeah, what you have to do with these is whenever you've got a front cover, timing chain cover, you always have to bolt that on when you face it, just to make sure it's all level, especially if they're doweled on. Right, here we've got a couple of motorcycle barrels. These are barrels off a Twin, obviously. I'm not 100% what it is now, I haven't even looked at the job card, but the guys sent the new piston in, and it's a 54mm bore on this, so it's just slightly too small to bore out on our boring bar. We have got a motorcycle boring bar, but I haven't used it for about 2 years because the motor went on it and we just didn't get round to doing it. And to be honest, we don't get that many of these little barrels, and if we do, we just rough hone them. I've set these up yesterday. I measured the piston and worked out that there's 1.5mm to come out the bore, so that's 60 thou. So I've had to I've had to rough hone 60 thou out of each one of these, which has took me about an hour and a half. So, but I've done it. I've just left it to cool overnight. There's about 1 thou to take out with the fine stones. I noticed on my last video when I was showing people that I'd honed out the one of the car blocks. The only reason we do usually rough them out rather than bore them is when I've got something set up like a liner job, which is going to take 2 or 3 days. So it's not very often that I'll rough hone them out. A few people said it's a bit of a strange way to bore them, which it is, but it's still a way to bore them. So yeah, these are all roughed out. Just going to finish these now, and then all the little bike barrels and what have you are out the way. So here is the Golf GTI, guys. As you can see, it's a stunning example, absolutely beautiful colour. What I'm going to do is fire it up this morning, warm it up, and see if we can see if we've eliminated that oil pressure issue. I'm just going to fire it up now. As you can see, it needs a little bit of a valet, but we shall do that before the customer comes and picks it up, obviously. So yeah, on cold. Yeah, yesterday with this, because it had this Revo 3-stage map thing on it, and even when you put it in standard, it would idle about 700, but it felt a little bit lumpy, to be honest with you. And the throttle's response, I don't know, the throttle response felt a little bit slow to me. But as you can see there, it's idling at about 1050 on cold start. And what I did notice yesterday, when you sort of blip the throttle yesterday when it had warmed up, it's sort of, you get the pops and the bangs and the farts, but it doesn't seem to do that now with the stock map on it, which is quite nice really. I must be getting old. Right, so that's dropping now off cold start. That's going down to about, well, it looks more like probably about 780 that's idling at there, going off the clock, which is very slightly higher than it did yesterday on the other map, or with that Revo thing on it. So down to about 750 there, I'd say, which is similar to what it was yesterday. And there's no oil light come on now. As I say, we've had a manual gauge in there, and all the pressures all through the range seem to be what they should be. So I don't know really. It's an odd one. As I say, it didn't do it to me yesterday before the remap, and it hasn't done it yet. And the guys run it yesterday from RCS, and they said it was all right. So right, so we just took it on a decent little run there, guys. I haven't yet come down to idle, so the oil should be pretty warm now. So if we just stop it, see if anything happens. See, it's still idling at probably just below 750. Nothing as yet. So far so good. So really strangely, I thought I'd give the car one more sort of run, let it idle a little bit, and the light comes straight back on. So I've just whipped it over to Marshall's Volkswagen, Barnstable. Seeing as it's their engine, I'll let them have a look at it and see what they find. But yeah, a bit of an odd one that. So unfortunately, guys, we're having a little bit of a bare and moaning drought. Got nothing to moan about this week, really. I've had no sort of awkward customers or anything like that. Well, definitely not in the last couple of days, so I'm sorry about that. Just a little run through the MGB. See, Isaac's cleaned up nearly all the bits now. This is all ready to go. You see, we've got a new clutch here, pistons, bearings. He's primed the block. That's all ready to paint. We're just having some paint mix now. We're going to go for that nice MGB maroon, if there is such a thing. Do the sump and the rocker cover black. This transit engine down here, which I said we're not going to really get involved with that. We've just got an exchange engine from Ivor Searle. Ivor Searle is Ivor Searle, Vega, some of the big engine reconditioners. We deal with Ivor Searle. So we've just got a tall engine, bare tall engine. You notice the rocker cover is orange. That's because that's their rocker cover and they just put that in for transportation. We have to swap the other rocker cover over. So we're going to do that, get that back to the customer. Then we've got to put the old one in the crate, send that back, and then we get the surcharge back. Isaac's been pretty busy the last couple of days with one of the Jag heads. This is the 4.2. He's been struggling a bit on doing the clearances, but I think he's all done now. and he's getting the hang of these. That's the second one he's done since he's been here, so yeah, top work, mate. The VXR down on the floor, what I said about in the last video or so, still no news from him. Haven't heard anything since, so the thing's still sitting there on a pallet waiting to go. So I don't know whether he's hoping that the bill will go down the longer he leaves it, but in a minute I'm just going to stick it back in the shed and send the bits back, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, bit of a strange one, not sure what he was expecting. But I did read a lot of the comments when I did the video on that VXR, and many of you guys did suggest me doing, you know, whenever I have a phone call, put it through email, get it on paper. And that's exactly what I'm going to do from now on, because obviously that is proof there that whatever you organise and agree on the phone soon gets forgotten. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do now. Any sort of phone call regarding pricing or estimating or anything like that, I'm just going to follow it up with an email, and it's there in writing, isn't it? So thanks a lot for that, guys. So guys, just a quick update on our van. As you can see, it's not sign written yet. It is booked in for next Monday, I believe. I better check with Sam actually. But yeah, really enjoying the van at the minute. I actually brought the Lamborghini into work yesterday just to sort of turn the wheels really and give it a little wash the dust off. And I actually missed the van. So yeah, really happy with it. Love it to bits, does everything I want it to do and more. And obviously looks great for the work. So yeah, fantastic that. Well, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Until another one, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you again. Cheers.